Yeah, he's just been climbing the ladder over the last several years.
So who is his parents?
It's a win. It's a win for me.
Okay.
Like I've been here. She was supposed to live at
Well, I knew Rita.
Yeah, that's good.
Who's in Tennessee. Good. All right. Greenville City Council will come to order. Call the roll.
Godwin.
Here.
Norris.
Here.
Rogers.
Here.
Schmidt.
Here.
White.
Here.
Brown.
Here.
Ely. Here.
If I could get everyone to stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Evening, everyone. Council members, you were emailed out the minutes. If there's no additions or corrections, they will stand approved as mailed out. Approval of the current financial report that was sent out, I will entertain a motion to accept or make adjustments to that.
So moved.
So moved.
Motion to approve.
Moved by Mr. Godwin to approve the current financial report. Is there any discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ely. Yes.
Okay. Approval of the agenda. There is a need for, to add a number 5 for a supplemental ordinance. Is that correct?
It was already seen.
Okay. So I don't need to add it then, is what you're saying? Okay. All right. I'll make,
Everything else same?
yep, everything else the same.
Motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Okay. Motion by Mr. Schmidt to approve the agenda as presented. Any discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ely. Yes.
Okay. Public hearing. If there's anyone in the public who would like to come to the podium, please come up and state your needs.
Hello, my name is April Brubaker, and I'm here on behalf of Main Street Greenville. And I just have some news I'd like to share with you, basically just to give you a report. First, I want to thank the city and the city workers for making downtown Greenville look like a scene out of the Hallmark Christmas movie during the holiday season. It was just beautiful downtown. The Santa house, just amazing. So I just want to say that we appreciate all of you and we enjoy working with you and to enhance the beauty of our community, and it's been a great pleasure. You have a great team here, and it shows. So I just wanted to thank you, and then also wanted to thank you for your continued support of Main Street Greenville. In 2023, your funds helped support many of the wonderful events that we hosted downtown. You supported economic growth and marketing and advertising efforts, and much more. We value your partnership, and we hope that you continue to support us and help make downtown a thriving district. So thank you very much. We have new board changes in 2024. We have a new board president, Sean Strauser. Jennifer Overhalser is now the vice president, and Dev Shivadecker is the secretary, and Hillary Holzapple the treasurer, and Chad Henry is the past president. Other board of directors are Jeff Whitaker, Dolores Ely, Marshall Combs, Mike Bowers, Greg Billings, Susan Fauble, Nicole Kaler, and John Bargy. So we have 13 on the board. We currently have 2 seats available. So if anybody's interested in joining our board, we'd love to have you. New news, we had a meeting with Heritage Ohio on February 1st, and we are now an aspiring member. We do believe that this will be an asset for Main Street Greenville and help us in the future to become sustainable. We learned a lot of policies and procedures and how to recruit volunteers and how to create events with goals in mind, and I think it will be a positive move for Main Street Greenville moving forward. Funding in 2024 is a priority for us, and we are looking to create an annual fundraising plan. We have some exciting things planned, and be on the lookout for details soon. So we're looking to become more physically sustainable and to increase funding with Main Street Greenville. Also here tonight, I do have a copy of the new calendar for you guys, so just pass that around. Changes for the calendar from last year to this year is we put out a survey to the merchants, just kind of asking them about our events and got some feedback. And they love First Fridays in the summer. But then, when October comes and football season starts and it starts to get cold, the attendance kind of starts to wear down and becomes less and less. And it's kind of a financial burden for businesses to stay open when they don't have a lot of people in their shops. So we looked at the calendar, and this year we changed it up a little bit, and we'll have a First Friday season from April to August. And then on the off seasons, we will still have events. They'll just be on Saturdays during the day. And then we do have new this year our 3 weekend events, with the Eclipse weekend being the first one. And then we have Patriotic Weekend over the 4th of July, and then Small Business Weekend in November after the horse parade. So we have lots of new events that we've added, and we're excited to share them with you as we finalize the plans. Make sure to check us out on social media and on our website. We will basically put the updates there when we finalize the plans. But we do already have plans in place clear up until the eclipse, so check those out. And currently, right now, we have a downtown saccharine going on now until Valentine's Day. We have 55 businesses participating in that. So for every $50 that you spend in downtown, you get to be entered into a drawing for a $250 shopping spree. And it's been really successful so far, and the businesses really seem to like it. And it's been a great incentive to upsell some of their merchandise and food items. So next we have Sham Rockin' Madness downtown on Saturday, March 16th. You can come test your luck during our Irish-themed day in downtown. Businesses will have their own specials and activities during the day, and Main Street Greenville will be hosting a Crack the Code Lockbox event, and the winner will get the contents inside. So something exciting new to bring people downtown. And then that night we'll be having a celebration at Sure Shot Tap House with the Flannel Band. That is one more thing that we would like to increase, is the nightlife in downtown in 2024. So be looking for some more celebrations to happen. The next weekend, March 23rd, we have a spring shop hop downtown. Again, a shopping incentive if they purchase from 5 or more stores. And then we have the Easter Bunny at the Coffee Pot from 11 to 2. And then the Solar Eclipse weekend, we have lots of things planned from Friday to Sunday, kicking off our First Friday event with putting around downtown with a celebration at Sure Shot after the putting around, and then a band bounce on Saturday night, shopping incentive during the day. We just want to encourage people to come downtown, hang out, enjoy the shopping, dining, and just experience our beautiful downtown. And then on Sunday, we have a food truck rally. So the last thing I wanted to share with you is we do have some exciting news. Andrew Riffle with Sure Shot Tap House has worked really hard to bring business to our community, and we will have Eldora Race Fan bus tours in 2024. Potentially, if we sell out, we'll have 144 race fans in Greenville 4 times this year. Friday, June 7th, Friday, July 19th, Friday, September 6th, 6th, and Friday, October 18th. So we're looking forward for 2024 and all that it has to offer our unique community. And I hope you are too, and I hope you enjoy the new calendar. And be on the lookout for more, as we only just begin to scratch the surface, as Dolores says. We have lots of positive things in the works for 2024. So it's been a pleasure working with you all. So thank you very much.
April,
Thank you.
You're welcome. And
April, if I-
Yes.
I think this is the first time that I have heard anything on the calendar in the past years. I don't think we've ever had that to happen, and it's very much appreciated by me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep, and just to add, being part of a Heritage Ohio is a big step forward, so kudos to whoever's made that decision. I scratched my head why we got out of it.
I think it will help us refocus and realign some things and move us in a positive direction.
And then the board, so another question I have is the board meetings meet on, I know it's 7:30 on
Wednesday, the first Wednesday at the month.
first Wednesday.
So tomorrow morning, come join us.
Okay. All right.
Anything else?
Anything else for April? Okay, thank you very much for coming up.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just broke my glasses. I'll be the grandma here.
Okay, first I want to thank April. I stop in down there at the Welcome Center every now and again, and they are so helpful because I'm always looking for information for my message board out by the park. And I can never, every time I go in there, they give me something new. So thank you and your other workers for providing that information, and we talked, and we learned we had a connection, and so it was wonderful. So I had a senior citizen approach me recently for two things she wanted me to bring forward, and she wants to know, come spring, who's going to clean up the straw in her yard? Is Omni going to come back and clean it up, or is she going to have somebody clean it up? And I said I would bring that to your attention because I don't think she can do it. And her other concern was, she said she reads about what the city needing money. Why do they put in her water bill an envelope when it's automatically taken out of an account? She says that is such a waste. Have they thought about maybe having a box where, because I get an envelope too, but I come up here and pay cash, and so I don't need the envelope. Would they consider having a box where we could drop the envelopes back in it instead of just throwing them in the trash? So she wants to know about that. And so if you would think about it and tell me what I should tell her, because she doesn't have the computer accessibility to watch this. So I told her I would bring back the answer, if you can give me an answer. And finally, I have good news. When I was here before, I brought up about me contacting Omni, and they hadn't gotten back with me. So about a week and a half ago, I went up to the library and I wrote them another email, and I told them where they took out the flowers was for my butterflies, honeybees, and hummingbirds. They showed up 2 days later at my house with money. I was ecstatic because all I asked for was $35 to replace the plants that they took out. And he reached inside his jacket and he says, "We got your letter, we read it, and we want to give you a little extra." So when it was for $60. And so I assured him that every bit of that will go for perennials that I will buy for my flower garden. And so I told them that you guys had encouraged me to write a second time, and so I did. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't wait for spring to go buy those flowers and put them back into my garden. So very good, thanks.
Thank you. Yep, just to answer your question on the straw, Ryan, you want to address that?
For straw, my experience, they shouldn't have to remove it. The grass should go through it, and then as they mow their yard, the straw will compost with the rest of the grass. So that shouldn't be a problem. And then on the envelope side of things, so we pay a company to mail those out for us. We just send them a file. And so it doesn't break down. You know, they have 6,000 that goes out monthly, or over 6,000. So it's just a fee. I mean, I don't think they would give us anything if we started returning them envelopes, but that's why we pay a company to do that for us.
Everything is a bulk mailing piece, would probably cost more to separate those envelopes out.
Yeah.
Than it would be to
Thank you.
include them all.
Anyone else for a public hearing?
Hello. I actually went to a Walgreens the other night, and I had a lady, an individual, come up to me and tell me how lovely the trees down Broadway is. And she also told me to tell whoever is involved in the trees, the livelihood of the trees, to do, just to keep it up. So, good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've gotten so many compliments over the last couple of months on what a great job the street department has done. So Matt, kudos to your team and Ryan for spearheading that. I know you were one of them that spearheaded it way back before you were at your place. Anybody else? Public hearing.
My name is Jim Babbitt. I'm an assistant prosecuting attorney here in Darke County, Ohio. And I am a candidate for the Darke County prosecuting attorney's position that'll be up on the ballot for on March 19th. The reason I'm here is for you to put a face when you see the names on the ballot. I live in Versailles. I'm a 1975 graduate of Versailles. And I went to Wright State University and really didn't know what I wanted to do. So I thought I'd try this law school thing. So I was fortunate enough to get into the University of Dayton and made it through law school. So I sent resumes and cover letters out to every law firm in Darke County. Every lawyer, whether it be a solo or a law firm, I didn't get one interview. Nobody would talk to me. Different time back then, but nobody would talk to me. So the Miami County prosecutor offered me a job, and I was there for 26 and a half years. So I now have a grand total of almost 34 years as prosecutor. There isn't much I haven't seen, much I haven't done. And this is all I do. I left Miami County at the beginning of 2012, and at the time, Attorney General DeWine wanted me to be a legal instructor for the police officers in this state at the State Police Academy. So I taught legal courses at the State Police Academy and traveled all over the state of Ohio and did my best to teach 32,000 police officers in this state some legal concepts that they needed to know. 2017, Kelly Ormsby hired me, and I've been here as prosecutor since. Kelly's decided not to seek re-election, so I'm out there, I'm talking to anybody and everybody I can, and just want you to know that I have a website. My trial record's on there. Anybody, it's all out there. You can look and see whatever you want. My website's bennettforprosecutor.com. I have endorsement of Jim Beakey, Toby Spencer, Kelly Ormsby, Sheriff Whitaker. So, I'd be happy to entertain any questions anyone has, but I just don't want to take up too much time, but I just want to introduce myself so you all know who I am. So thank you for allowing me to talk.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, anyone else? Public hearing. All right, move on to administrative reports. Mr. Mayor.
First of all, I want to welcome our new councilman, Greg White. Thank you. Who admitted himself to the council and wanting to serve the community, and I really appreciate your effort to do that. Thank you. Second of all, in front of all of you is the annual report to City Council from the Mayor's Office, and basically what it is, it's a summary of all of our department heads and letting them know what the projects have been over the past year, and all of our aims are to continue to provide our residents with those services they expect as hardworking tax-paying citizens, and this is a very good outline of everything that's been done over the past year So you can review that at your leisure. Second of all, or third of all, I want to make mention of the fact that as of February the 1st, we began our countywide transportation of our Greenville Transit Service. And that means now a trip within Darke County doesn't have to necessarily start or end within the city of Greenville. It's not based on, there's no mileage fee. It's a flat fee, and depending upon where you're beginning your trip and ending it, it could be a maximum of $15 for the trip. So I understand that since this is started, within the first couple of days, that we've had about 50 extra riders a day, at least over that first weekend. So I think the word's getting out, and I think we're providing a great service for the entire county out of Greenville. So we're getting a lot of grant monies and so forth, and if there's anything I'm leaving out, okay. Anyway, these county trips need to be booked 24 hours in advance, and I think it's going to be a great service to everyone. She has more ambitious goals than mine down the road, maybe expanding that even further. So I want to also make mention of Whirlpool. KitchenAid made a donation to the United Way of a total of $458,000. And that was $221,000 raised from the workers in that plant right here in Greenville at KitchenAid. And then Whirlpool matched that. So total, with another event that they had, they raised a total of $458,000, all going to United Way. And one of the things that I want to mention, we talked about this before, over a year ago now, but one of the great things that the United Way has implemented is a 211 call. Just like calling 911 in an emergency, 211 is a three-digit helpline to find local support and resources for food, rent, utilities, legal services, elderly services, healthcare, crisis intervention, disability services, and a whole lot more. So I like to urge people that if they're in need for anything, 211 is a good way to go. We're also in the midst of our large item pickup. Our current contract with Rumpke, the next opportunity is actually started yesterday through the 9th. And there's a list that's on the bulletin board outside of what's not acceptable, including appliances containing Freon, oil tanks, liquids in or hazardous waste, concrete, tires, large screen TVs that are not manageable by one person. So this is just, how many, 4 times a year we're doing this now? Yes. So, I mean, this is an opportunity for people that have things that are not so tidying up your front yards or whatever. You can get rid of this stuff, because we will be implementing a code enforcement program, and this is an opportunity for people to get a heads up on this thing. I also want to commend our police and fire departments for their plans that they had set in advance for this train derailment. This thing went very smoothly, and it was handled very efficiently and effectively. And we want to thank those from RJ Corman and rather quickly clearing that scene up as well. And I just think that we were very fortunate that no one was hurt, that train was traveling very slowly through town. We had no leaks or spills, and everyone worked together well. And I just want to thank Paul Apley for his very nice cartoon that he put in the paper, his editorial cartoon, showing the workmanship between the fire and police departments, the city administration, and RJ Corman. And it was a disaster that could have been a lot worse. So I'm thankful for that. After all that, I pass.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moving on to Safety Service Director, Mr. Delk.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to clarify a little bit on the county trips. We worked with the Dark County Commissioners, so part of that is funded by the Commissioner's Office. That ridership fee of the $5 and $10 zones does not cover the complete trip, and the county has pledged $50,000 a year for the next 2 years to make that county transportation happen.
Thanks. Work that out.
First thing, so on number 5, the ordinance, I just wanted to, the supplemental ordinance, so that is for the body cams, cruiser cams, and taser batteries, which the new taser batteries will, if the taser's pulled, will activate the body cam.
Bluetooth connector.
Yep, the connector, yes. So that is on there. We did not receive the grant for the body cameras that we put in for the $85,000. But I think after, all of our discussions, council's wishes seem to be that they still wanted to move forward with body cams. So this will get us our body cams, and this is our first payment and it'll be 5 years of payments. And then our plan is we're going to reapply for another grant in May. The PD worked really hard to figure out where our deficiencies were in our first grant to try to make us look better for the next grant. So then we'll reapply in May. And if we don't get that, we'll just keep reapplying every year. We have 5 years to try to come up with a grant funding to cover a portion of that expense. 502 project, so if you haven't been, most of actual 502 is open. Chestnut is still closed. They've been doing a bunch of tie-in work here over the last week. For example, they're tying in portions of West Main right now, which includes like police department, city building. So our building's under a boil advisory, so if you try to go to drinking fountains, do not go. And we've realized over the last couple of days here at the city building how important water is. When it's a very important part of our daily lives that sometimes we overlook. So we're working on that. They still have probably, I would say, a month of work to do, tie-ins, sidewalk repairs, asphalt repairs, that sort of thing, but the street is open. And then I just want to add that if you haven't been down there, down at the intersection of Vine, Chestnut, 502 in West Main, it has been changed from a 2-way stop to a 4-way stop. And what that was to improve the safety of the intersection. We've put a lot of pre-signage in there, but it still takes people some getting used to. I've checked out a few times myself, and some people have ran it, and some people have made some last-minute stops. So I would just like to say to the public and everyone, still use extreme caution when you're going through there. Don't expect them to stop, and they're going to know it. But I had a conversation with someone earlier today, in 6 months from now, we'll forget it was ever a 2-way, it'll be a 4-way, and it'll be a much safer zone for all of us.
I've had a couple great comments on that, so I think that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, change is never easy, but we're going to get through it.
Well, and that was always dangerous, people coming north and around that curve and just flying.
Absolutely, it was a blind spot, yep. Once we get everybody used to it, it's going to be better for everyone. And then I just want to bring up the solar eclipse. I know it's been talked about a little bit, but we've been having a lot of meetings with the entire county on the solar eclipse. It is April 8th, and we are making plans for the worst, and unfortunately, it's all seems to be weather dependent. If all these people come to our great community, we've heard anywhere from another 50,000 in the county to maybe an additional 100,000. We do know the hotels are pretty much full now. There's a couple hundred campers going to the fairgrounds, about the same up at Eldora. There's a lot of events taking place, obviously, as downtown for that weekend. The Park District is hosting a few events. All the schools in the county are now closed. So anyone who is going to be out on that day, the totality, I think, is a little after 3 in the afternoon. So it's going to be a shift change. I would recommend that everybody plan accordingly for potential of extra travel. Everyone, police, fire department, all the county departments, it's going as far as getting wildlife officers involved and ham radio operators, because cell phone could be a little rough during that time if we have an influx of that many people. But I just want to make sure it's on everybody's radar and, you know, it's not day of and we're like, what the heck is going on, because everything's overloaded. And last but not least, the county is offering up a county demo program. So they received a grant for I think it's $500,000, $400,000 or $500,000 to demo properties around the county. We have a few identified in the city that could be potential. The problem with this is the city has to own or control those properties, or the homeowner has to sign off on those. So I just want to get it out there. If anyone has interest and they own a property and they want that property cleaned up, this is a good way for us to be able to help them through that process. And the applications are due March 1st. And with that, I will pass.
Ryan,
Yes, sir.
on Morrow Street in the 200 block, there's some brush laying there. It's been laying there ever since last fall, maybe even into the last summer. Also, there was some that was put on Laurel Street also, and I'm not sure whether maybe the property people don't know what to call the street department, but it's the one on Laurel. They've stacked it out into the street to where the vehicles hit it, and, you know, I'm sure scratches their vehicles.
Right. I'll get it checked out. I'm glad you brought that up. So our brush service runs April 1 to October 1, so in April we'll start cleaning that up again, but we'll have it checked out and see what we can do.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ryan, I wanted to bring up about, I know we waived the sidewalk fees for people in phase 1, and when we do the phase 2, it's waived in that also. Is there a way of doing it for like the whole city while we're doing this project?
Absolutely.
That, you know, it takes a less of a burden on somebody that can, you know, maybe do their sidewalk next year that's in phase 5 or 4, or, you know, that they can afford to do that now and not have the burden of the $60. Then, you know, John, I was thinking that the curbs too, since we just initiated that too.
I mean, is it something we should assign as a finance committee, or?
Yeah, you can.
Because I don't know what the financial burden that would take from that office. Because what is a sidewalk fee?
$60.
Yeah.
So,
Which basically covers the expenses of the inspection and.
right.
Well, but if you get somebody that's going to do something to do their sidewalk now, that they don't have to do it in 7 years. You know, we're looking at it, making the city more beautiful now.
No, I would agree. If you can, I mean,
can do it
if
now.
somebody's willing to do it before we get to the phase, it's
That encourages,
definitely not a bad
that
idea.
encourages them to go out and do it.
To do it earlier, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll sign that to utility committee to look at and see what burden that would be, get with the planning and zoning and Mr. Delk. So utility committee, Clarence, Chris, and Brian. Okay? Any other questions on that? All right.
You have a due date?
Yeah, thank you. It's always up to you two to keep me in line. Let's see, so the 20th, how about the first meeting in March 5th? Can you have it back by then? Mm-hmm. Okay. Anything else for Mr. Delk? All right, moving on to our law director, Mr. Reaman.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. Just to kind of piggyback on what Mr. Delk said about the body cams, you know, we were very hopeful that we were going to be able to get that grant, but as we had discussed before, you know, given the current climate that's out there, I think there's an expectation that police have body cameras. And to be clear, we were protected before, so our officers have microphones that are tied in, they've got cameras in their cruisers, but this is just going to provide an additional level of protection and everything being tied together. So as I had mentioned back then, and I continue to mention now, you know, this is a project that we need to do regardless, and we're still hopeful that maybe we'll get some funds in May. And so with that, the cameras are here, and so we're excited about getting those implemented and everything going forward. So they've arrived, they haven't been installed or anything, but we're excited about that.
Also want to welcome Mr. White. Looking forward to working with him. And with that, I will answer any questions about legislation.
All right, thank you. Ms. Raymond, moving on to City Auditor, Ms. Davis.
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to make everyone aware, the first ordinance on the agenda tonight is the appropriation for the annual budget for 2024. So I want to thank all the departments and the administration and everyone for all their hard work. We do have a balanced budget, and we will continue to work on the capital improvement fund. Those requests are completed, the list is made, so we will go over those diligently and meet back with the departments as needed and probably bring that legislation to the next meeting for the capital improvement fund. The other piece of legislation that affects our office is there's a contract for Julian and Grube. They do our gap conversion, which we have to do as part of our audit. That contract is for 3 years. We do get a discount for the 3-year contract. They've been doing it for 20. So they do a really good job. They're very aware of how our office runs, and so they do that conversion for us. And then we will also have a state audit come in. So that's what that contract is for. And with that, any questions? If not, I will pass. And welcome, Mr. White.
Thank you. Moving on to committee reports, we have none. Moving on to ordinance and resolutions. Number one, ordinance for the 2024 appropriations fund.
An ordinance appropriating funds necessary for the various departments and offices of the City of Greenville, Ohio for the year 2024 and declaring an emergency. This ordinance appropriates funds of the City of Greenville for personal services, operations, and maintenance, transfers, and capital/new equipment to fulfill purposes for which the City of Greenville must provide in the year 2024. This ordinance has an emergency clause.
Move to suspend the rules, give this ordinance second, third reading by title only.
Moved by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this ordinance second and third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
An ordinance appropriating funds necessary for the various departments and offices of the City of Greenville, Ohio for the year 2024 and declaring an emergency. An ordinance appropriating funds necessary for the various departments and offices of the City of Greenville, Ohio for the year 2024 and declaring an emergency.
Move to adopt the emergency clause.
Moved by Mr. Brown to adopt the emergency clause. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Move to adopt.
Moved to adopt the ordinance by Mr. Brown. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to number 2, a resolution authorizing safety service director to enter into a contract.
A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into contract with Julian and Grube Incorporated. This resolution authorizes the Safety Service Director to enter into contract with Julian and Grube for compilation services for a 3-year period, including 2023, 2024, and 2025.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this resolution, read it by title only, second and third time.
Moved by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, give this resolution second and third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into contract with Julian and Grube Incorporated. A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into contract with Julian and Grube Incorporated.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Moved by Mr. Rogers to adopt a resolution. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Okay. Moving on to resolution authorizing safety service director to enter into a contract.
A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into contract with J&K Communications Incorporated for the rendering of professional services. This resolution authorizes the Safety Service Director to enter into contract with J&K Communications for the rendering of professional services related to emergency services radio maintenance.
Move to suspend the rules, give this resolution second, third reading by title only.
Moved by Mr. Schmidt to suspend the rules, give this resolution second and third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into contract with J&K Communications Incorporated for the rendering of professional services. A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into contract with J&K Communications Incorporated for the rendering of professional services.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Moved by Mr. Rogers to adopt a resolution. Discussion. Call the roll.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to number 4, a resolution authorizing Safety Service Director to enter into the contract.
A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into contract with Verizon Connect for video camera systems for the transit system. This resolution authorizes the Safety Service Director to enter into contract with Verizon Connect for video camera systems for the transit system.
Make a motion to suspend the rules on this resolution, read it by title only, second, third time.
Moved by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, give this resolution second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into contract with Verizon Connect for video camera systems for the transit system. A resolution authorizing the Safety Service Director to enter into contract with Verizon Connect for video camera systems for the transit system.
Motion to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Godwin to adopt. Discussion?
Yeah, how fancy are these? Are this just like speed, or can we like look at them live, or?
They're fancy, all the above. You can track where they are. There's an in-vehicle camera and then a camera that points out the front. And they send us a report daily on like if there's speeding or runs a stop sign. Like there's all sorts of different criteria that falls into that. But it's more like for driver safety, that sort of thing, who's on and off the bus. But yeah, we can look at them at any time.
Have we had anything up till now?
We used to, and then when we became our own, those were MB's cameras, so we lost them.
Yeah.
But we got a grant to pay for this for the next 4 years.
Very good. Any other discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to our last one, number 5, a supplemental ordinance.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024. The supplemental ordinance allows for appropriations in the CIP fund and the sum as follows. General government, new equipment in the amount of $31,320. These funds are needed to pay for the first of 5 annual installments for the payments on body cameras, cruiser cameras, and taser batteries.
Move to suspend the rules and give this ordinance second, third reading by title only.
Moved by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules and give this second, third reading only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024. An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024.
Move to adopt.
Moved by Mr. Brown to adopt a supplemental ordinance. Discussion?
I do have one question. We have this set up for 5 installments, 5 years. What is life expectancy? Do we know on?
So they're under warranty for 5 years. If you have them replaced in that 5 years, they get another 5 year, and then the life expectancy is 10.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Call the roll.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
Schmidt.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
All right, that completes our ordinances and resolutions. Moving on to new business, we have none. Under old business, we have a tabled zoning amendment recommendation. Does anyone want to do anything with that? All right. Moving on, councils representing outside committee, we have Main Street Greenville. Dolores.
Okay, well, first off, I thank April for making my report. That's pretty good. I like that. And I'm sure the guys appreciate it too. All right.
You said everything you were going to say.
That's right, except I want to say one more thing. I really encourage all of you to take this calendar, put it someplace where you can see it, and please participate, 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 because that's what makes our Main Street Greenville, Main Street Greenville. Thank you, and with that, I pass.
Well done.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you, Dolores. Communications.
We received the monthly reports of November from the Transit Department, and the monthly report of December from the Transit Department, and the monthly reports of January from the Income Tax, Street Department, and Fire Department.
Okay. Call council.
Godwin?
Just like to thank everybody for coming up tonight and welcome Mr. White.
Thank you.
Looking forward to working with you. And with that, I'll pass.
Norris?
Greg, welcome aboard. Glad to have you up here with us. Thanks, everybody that came tonight. We appreciate that. Baseball and softball season is coming up. We're ready. We just got a release out yesterday for signups for softball. So we're going gangbusters. We're going to have 2 new leagues at home that are not going to travel this year. So hopefully that'll attract some in the 6 and 8U to the 14U. That's going to be in-house instead of traveling. That was kind of a thing. And you're ready for baseball, right, Ryan? Absolutely. And then locally, this Friday and Saturday is our senior nights for Greenville for basketball. So if you have nothing to do on a Friday night, come out and support the boys. There'll be senior night there. And then the girls, senior night, but it's during the day. They have a morning game, JV and varsity Saturday morning. $8 to get in, support these kids. Is senior night day for the girls as well this Saturday. So kind of a back-to-back thing, but would be some good way to get out there and support the teams out there in the wave. So with that, I'll pass.
Rogers?
Yes, I want to thank everybody for coming up, and especially April for her report there. That was great. And thanks to the new candidate back there, maybe we can help that out light too. And thanks to Mr. Greg White for joining us up here. I'm sure it's just like I was back in 2006. He said, "What did I get into?" But anyway, I've been on since 2006. I've enjoyed it, and I'll be here for a little while longer. With that, I pass.
Schmidt?
Greg, welcome aboard.
Thank you, sir.
Best of luck to you. Thank you. With that, I'll pass.
White?
I'd just like to thank everybody for the support they've given me in my first 6 days of tenure. Everybody's opened the door for me and said, whatever they can do to help me, and I appreciate that, and I look forward to engaging with the entire council and with the city team. Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity, I think.
Brown?
I guess I sound like a broken record, and thank everybody for coming. Greg, again, welcome. Welcome to the other day. Looking forward. And great job to Kim and the rest of the team for getting the budget together and get that approved so that we can stop operating off of ordinances and start buying some things. So anyway, thanks, and I'll pass.
Neely?
Yep, I just want to say welcome to Greg as well, and to thank everybody for coming. And, we live in such a great city, and we just need to keep getting behind it, supporting it, working with it, and with that, I pass.
Here, here.
You're here.
President Baumgardner?
Yep, so broken record here, Greg. Thanks for stepping up and coming on. We talked the other day for about a half hour, and I think we're pretty evenly aligned and have a lot of the same thoughts. And I know you want to make the city better and et cetera. So thank you for stepping up and doing it, because it's can be thankless sometimes. Kudos again, I know I mentioned it, but I've got so many comments on downtown Greenville, how well it looks. So April, great job. Matt, Street Department, thank you. The lights look great. The red lights during February look great. I know you're going to go to green in March. So kudos to your team. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Brown to adjourn. Call the roll.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Rogers?
Yes.
Schmidt?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Healy?
Yes.
Evening, everyone.
Good evening.